You step into a room. A torch flickers on the wall, casting long shadows across the cobbled stone floor. In the opposite corner of the room, there is a phone with a pair of headphones connected to it. If you wish to pick up the phone and listen to the podcast that it's playing, turn to page 312. If you wish to just leave the room and turn round, then just turn this off, basically, because that would be the end.
The fuck you talking about?
Oh, you'll see. You'll see. You enjoying that cheesecake?
Lovely stuff, yeah.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Dark Natter, the podcast where we talk about a piece of dark fiction.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Or how about
Oh?
we roll the dice to see what we do to this dark fiction?
What if we roll like a 3, then we talk about it, but if we roll a 7, what happens?
It is a 7.
That's weird. What happens?
We talk about a piece of dark fiction.
Oh, that's lucky.
You're right, innit? It's harder than it looks.
Phew. I was worried we'd have to do something. I was utterly unprepared to do anything other than talking.
Now, why would I roll a dice? The dice. Die.
Dice is plural, die is singular. Lots of people get it wrong.
Yeah, I just did.
And I wish those people nothing but pain.
I said roll the dice.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Don't worry.
Yeah. But then you looked at me and I thought if I got it wrong. Edit this shit out.
Yeah, don't worry.
Anyway.
All of this will be cut. Please don't worry.
So tell us, what is this podcast?
What is the point?
What is this podcast?
It's my go.
Whoa, what is it?
I don't know. I'm getting to that.
Okay.
I was going to say it's my go to pitch to you a dark fiction concept for your consideration as to whether it warrants a place in the Hall of Pain.
What's going on? You're phoning it in today, mate.
Sorry.
Hall of Pain or the
Hall of Pain.
That was a bit too much.
Okay, go Goldilocks, like just right.
Yeah, go on then.
Hall of Pain.
I actually started laughing.
Of all of our intros, this has been arguably
worst.
the best.
The best or the worst.
And the reason we're using a pair of dice in the intro is because what I'm bringing to the table...
What you're pitching to other...
To the knobhead.
Yeah.
Is to the tabletop. I'm bringing to the tabletop the Fighting Fantasy Adventure Gamebooks.
Fighting Fantasy, and it's a bloody nerd shit, yeah?
You're goddamn right it is.
Hey?
What is Fighting Fantasy, Liam? I will tell you. Oh yeah, we've got to say who we are, didn't we?
Yeah.
Who are you?
I'm Liam.
I am John Richter. Spoiler alert, we always forget that bit as well.
Yeah, there'd be spoiler alert.
If you haven't read specifically Master of Chaos, then...
From the Fighting Fantasy series.
We are going to be literally spoiling that because the plan for today, my plan for you...
A little bit different, yeah.
Instead of just waffling on about it for an hour, we're going to play it live.
Hang on.
In the studio.
How does this work?
I haven't thought that far ahead. Don't worry, we'll figure it out. We've got the dice, we've got a pen. That's all you need. It says on the back, all you need is 2 dice, a pencil and an eraser. We haven't got an eraser.
Well, I'll
pencil.
just scribble through it.
Yeah.
Tipex.
Remember that? Remember the little...
The ones with... Yeah.
The mouse one.
Yeah,
they were good, weren't they?
It smelt great as well, didn't it, Tipex?
The Fighting Fantasy Gamebooks were written by... Well, they were conceived by Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone.
Yeah.
Some of them were then written by one, but not both.
Yeah.
And some of them were actually written by someone else. So it's another one. So this one, actually, the one I'm bringing specifically, Master of Chaos, is by some bloke called Keith Martin.
Good surname.
Came out in the, I don't know, I want to say the 80s.
It looks very 80s.
They first came out in the 80s. They ran for many years, sold literally tens of millions of copies, these books. They're incredibly popular because what they basically did was bring the choose-your-own-adventure style book. They added certainly a sense of kind of fast pace to them. So other than the little introduction, very short, punchy paragraphs. You didn't have to read pages and pages before you were able to make a decision. You were straight in. What are you going to do? Do you want to slay the dragon? Do you want to run away? That sort of thing. And they also brought a pretty simplified version of, but still very popular with fans of that genre, dice-based combat, similar in many ways to Dungeons and Dragons type tabletop gaming.
Yeah.
And in fact, these guys, Jackson and Livingston, were instrumental in the creation of the whole Games Workshop. I think they pretty much set the thing up, which is it's astonishing, really, career that they've had.
It
so
really
successful.
is, yeah.
I think one of them is now at least got a CBE, I think, Ian Livingstone, for his services to kind of gaming, the video games industry that he was subsequently involved in. Just very, very talented, successful, fantasy-type dudes. So good for them. Anything to add? Did you play these when you were young, or were you were less of a nerd than I was?
No, I didn't. I played a lot of Choose Your Own Adventure.
Yeah.
Played a lot of Choose Your Own Adventure books. Do you remember the Usborne Choose Your Own Adventure books? And you had like I remember having these other ones as well, where it came with like different props that you had, like a key that you had to put on the
that's cool.
page, and it would obviously give you a...
It's funny, I don't know, maybe because I'm no longer a kid, so I no longer buy this stuff. Nah, who am I kidding? I would if I knew where to go. All those, like, maybe just the production costs are deemed to be too high, and it's like, oh, let's just make a video game instead. But there used to be these little kind of activity
which would surely be more expensive. But yeah, I know what you mean.
You know, like the sort of way the actual paraphernalia comes with the book. They were really cool, I agree.
Well, my son, he doesn't have anything like... I'm going to have to get him some of these, actually. Yeah. Just purely for me, obviously.
But I wouldn't get him this one, because it's flipping horrible. I remember being properly freaked out by this when I were a kid.
Is this your favourite one?
Yeah. So whenever you look at like the top 10 fighting fantasy books, this is never in it, never anywhere near. It's always ones like The Warlock of Firetop Mountain, because that was the first one.
Right.
And there's a few that seem to be fondly remembered, like House of Hell, where they veered away from the fantasy setting and did like a horror one, like a present day horror. I think there's like a science, like a couple of sci-fi ones. For whatever reason, I always liked this one because I just thought it was really dark and disturbing, and maybe it was my first encounter with... You know this idea of like mutant, sort of chaos mutants in Warhammer parlance, where these corrupting dark magic powers would physically manifest, and people would have, a crab claw and a tentacle where their arms should have been, or two heads or one eye. They were... I found that just quite unsettling, and the books came with pictures, and this one, you can either see me flicking through it now. Just look at some of these, like, real disgusting creatures.
I found that, though, a lot with... I used to have this Ladybird book of Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh, yeah.
And I've actually got it. I've still got it. And it was just really horrible, sort of quite dark pictures. And then they ended up this was like in the 80s, and then they ended up redoing them with like much more cartoonish style. It. But yeah, I loved it. I loved being scared as a kid. That's where I guess my fascination with horror. I feel like,
and we've talked about this before with some of those books, those Ladybird books about other like Frankenstein and Dracula.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we spoke about that. Yeah.
I think maybe, I don't know, the 80s, maybe early 90s, there was less policing around what you could and couldn't show to kids.
Yeah.
So we got basically ruined by some terrifying, horrible shit that you wouldn't sort of get away with now, maybe.
But maybe you should.
Yes.
Like there was lots of like kids dramas that were really like quite supernatural and really quite scary. If you remember any.
Like Round the Twist.
Yeah, that was quite good. No, there was like I suppose they got Goosebumps and stuff now. It just feels a bit sanitised though.
Wusses, mate.
Yeah, it feels a bit sanitised, whereas it was quite disturbing, some of the
I can't
back in day.
Back in day, they don't make them like they used to.
By the
They're
way,
on your
my
chest.
books, they were Usborne puzzle adventure books.
You know, I actually think I had these.
Yeah.
Now it's ringing a bell, and they were
You
like,
had to solve puzzles to get to the
Yeah.
next part, but you'd flick through,
and it might be like almost like a Where's Wally puzzle, and it'd be like, can you find the pirate?
Yeah.
He's hiding in the thing.
Yeah.
And very clever, like mixed media almost. But
sort of, yeah. And that kind of, I never really got into the fighting fantasy for some reason,
I think these were pretty nerdy, like
but
because of the dice rolling shenanigans, and it is a bit as you're
But
going
I
to find
would-
out. Sitting there rolling dice on your own is a bit of an odd thing to do, isn't it?
But that's weird because I did like all that stuff. I don't know why I didn't get into this. It's very odd.
I want to say my mum or dad just bought me a book one day and were like, oh, this is hey nerd, this is the sort of thing you'd like. Boom, and
Yeah,
that
I
was
don't
me
know
locked away
why.
for
I mean,
weeks.
I suppose I could feel superior to nerds, but why would I want to do that? I am one.
Well, let's see how you get on with this.
Okay, so what's the deal then? You
So,
choose. I'm mage. 3.
don't worry, I'll explain all. What I'm not going to do is read all the rules out. I'll just tell them.
Okay.
You'll get the hang of it. Don't worry. We have to do a bit of dice rolling to set up your character
Okay.
at the beginning.
What's my character's name?
When I read through the background, it might tell you. If it doesn't, we'll make one up.
Okay.
So, let's do the dice rolling first, right?
Okay.
First of all, roll 1 dice. We're going to add 6 to it, and that's your skill score.
Okay.
And before you do it, I will tell you, if you get a crap skill score, you're fucked, and there's no way you'll be able to complete the game.
Okay.
It's like the biggest flaw in these books is this one particular stat just dictates whether you're going to breeze through it or whether it's going to be rock hard. I always felt they could have come up with something a bit better, maybe.
Can you run away from battles and?
You can, yeah, so the game will give you opportunities to avoid fights. So I suppose
Okay.
it could be argued that if you're a weakling, skill is like your battle skill, basically.
Yeah.
So if you're bad at fighting, you might...
It's in your best interest.
You're role-playing as a wimp, you know. But it's still a lot harder.
But I suppose when you're younger, you want to do the battle.
I just used to pretend I rolled a 6 every time, and I would genuinely roll the dice, and if I rolled a 6 I'd be like, yeah, I got a 6. If I didn't, I'd like, oh, that didn't count, it landed wonky.
Yeah.
Pathetic behaviour.
But we all did it.
And we all jammed our fingers in the pages in case we picked the wrong move and then went back to... But we're not going to do that today.
Okay.
This is going to be a one and done. We might be here all night, just to set the scene, actually, while we're really building up this 1 dice roll. We're in Liam's lovely house. It's getting on a bit. It's about 8:30. No, 10 to 9.
8:30.
We've just recorded a previous episode. And, if this goes on a bit, we're going to be here till midnight.
Okay.
Or you might die in the first 10 minutes, and then it's going to be the shortest episode we've ever done.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed for you die.
So this is
Skill.
important.
This is the one.
3.
Oh, it's a 3. It's kind of in the middling.
Yeah, that's fine. So
Right,
9.
9 skill, mate. Get it on your character sheet. Now stamina, which is
Same
basically
again?
hit points. 2 dice and add
Okay.
12.
Oh, okay.
So that's your ability. Not bad. That's
8,
20
20.
stamina. That's your ability to soak up punishment. And then luck is, I don't know, I always think it's a bit of a bonus. It's just 1 dice, this one. The game will ask you to test your luck on occasion. You can also use it in battle, which I'll explain. But just go for it.
2.
I always got shit luck scores as well. Funny that.
And do I add anything? Or?
8. So you add 6. So 2 plus 6,
Okay.
8 is your luck. Provisions, as the game tells you, you start with none. Gold, I think you start with none, but the background clarifies it. Notoriety was one of the unique gimmicks for this book. So
Right.
the other stuff, skill, stamina, luck, is common across all the fighting fantasy books. Notoriety starts at 0, so don't worry about that. And then the last thing you need to do is pick. You can pick 3 special skills from the following 6.
Okay.
Acute hearing, which basically means you can snoop and listen in and hear stuff that you might otherwise miss.
Sounds good.
Animal wisdom says this skill gives you a natural feeling for and understanding of animals. If you possess it, you'll be able to ride common beasts like horses and camels better than most, and you may be able to understand why the animals you see on your travels are behaving in the way they do, which at times may give you important clues.
So I can ride animals better.
Get on with them well. Then you've got blind sight, which is good for fighting / seeing stuff in the dark. Climbing, which makes you good at climbing.
Yeah.
Move silently makes you good at sneaking, which might work with your quite low skill score, maybe. And then finally, tracking. So following tracks, clues, footprints, or hoof prints, or whatever. So there you go.
I'll go stealth.
So move silently.
Yeah.
Yeah, lob that down on your list so we don't forget. I think that's a good pick, to be honest.
I was thinking the blind sight.
I think they're all... The thing is, I seem to remember it's been quite well balanced, so you'll curse the ones you don't have, but the ones you do have will be useful. So yeah, go for it, blind sight. And then what's your final pick?
So there was animal wisdom, acute hearing, climbing, and tracking. I mean, the animal one, maybe because I'm a bit of a wuss, I can ride away, escape.
On horseback.
Yeah.
I like it.
Is that a thing?
Take it. Who
climbing.
knows? I suppose you might need the climbing to climb onto the hut now.
I'm going to go for animal wisdom.
I love how you're basing your decision on the most cowardly skill. That's really good. Right. There's a little map in there.
Looks like a nice place.
The River Ashen and the River Bloodsilt seem to be running away from a place called Ashkios, which is next to the Deadlands, outside the ruins of Kabesh, which borders on the Chaos Wastes. I'm sure that's... Where is all that? Is that in like the Midlands?
Yeah, it is.
You were born there?
I was born there.
Which of them were you born in?
The Deadlands.
You were born in the Deadlands?
Yeah.
When did
Midlands,
you move away?
Deadlands.
Yeah, very good.
Right.
Don't lie.
Should we just get on with it?
Yeah, there's a lot to get through. Right, I'll read it to you, if you don't mind. A conclave of wizards is a rare event for a warrior, even one of your talents, to be invited to. But here you are, intrigued by their summons. Finding them gathered round the deathbed of a venerable great wizard suggests that matters of great moment must be afoot. I'm going to give this old wizard a voice, hang on. It was an astral slayer. The spell to ward it away takes so long to cast, and we had not expected it. The old wizard's chest convulses with a racking cough, and he weakly spits blood into the bowl held out to him by the healers. We have failed. And his voice fades away into another spasm of coughing. The younger wizard puts his hand on the fevered brow, lined with age, and murmurs words of consolation. It could not have been foreseen. Such a thing has not been known for scores of years. Yet the staff has been taken. I'm not quite sure which one's speaking, but we'll go with the old one. If only we had possessed the power to destroy the infernal thing. Now it is surely in the hands of someone of great power and evil. Who else could want such a thing? The grey-robed healer holds the old man's hand and bids him rest. The effort of talking seems to have drained the sorcerer, for, with a few inaudible words, his head slumps back onto the pillow and his eyes slowly close. You leave the sick room with the younger wizard, both silent for a few moments. That man was the foremost of our fellowship, my greatest teacher, he confides, and his power was as a candle in a strong wind, pitted against the evil that opposes us. That staff has to be regained. It is a staff of rulership, one of the old staffs of power. In the wrong hands, it can be used to unify. I wish I hadn't done this voice. It's basically an important staff.
Yeah.
You can read the bits that you say in your best warrior voice.
But if this is an affair of great magic, why have you sent for me? I'm only a warrior.
Only? Are there not giants who speak of you with fear?
Well, possibly.
You agree, taken aback by this outburst. And then there was also the matter of that fire-breathing great worm a few years back, was there not? Amberon the wizard adds tartly. You don't hear that word very often,
no.
do you? Tartly. You plead that you had enjoyed some good fortune in that triumph, but Amberon has made his point. We cannot send a wizard to recover the staff. The man who now has it would sense the approach of a magician long before he could even get near it. It has to be a warrior. You don't have a reply ready for that comment, but at least you do have a query for this wizard who seems to have everything arranged for you.
So you must know who has it, right?
Amberon nods. We know where it is, too.
Well, that's something.
You agree. That depends on how you look at it. It's in Kull, the land of chaos, the dark continent, home to grim-faced men of evil nature, sorcerous horrors, monstrosities of warped chaos. This is hardly... Oh, no.
That's just...
Is that just...
No.
I think it... Oh, I read all of it in his voice, but I wasn't supposed to.
No.
I was just going to stick with it. This is hardly reassuring. In Kabesh, to be exact, a ruined city swarming with monsters and the undead.
Oh, wonderful.
You reply dryly.
I think I've heard enough.
I love... This is a great character you've crafted here.
It's just...
We've not named him yet.
I don't know.
He's a man of mystery.
He's a man.
He's clearly a man.
And I love the way it's like the jock has to go, like the nerd wizard can do it, so they have to send for...
Really suck it up to him.
Yeah.
He's only got 9 skill, mate.
Yeah.
But Amberon grabs you by the arm and won't let you make for the archway, which leads to the outside. 2 scryers nearly died to find out that much. They aren't going to have taken that risk for nothing. He's getting a bit, I thought he was a bit of a wuss.
Back off, dweeb.
Yeah. And anyway, while the staff is in Kull, don't think for a moment that you or anyone else will be safe from its power anywhere on Titan. His look tells you with complete certainty that he is not deceiving you. You will not be able to ignore this problem. Your passage has been arranged. You'll travel on the Diablo, a nasty little vessel under the command of Captain Shagrot.
Great name.
That's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
He is a criminal, a liar, and a sadistic bully, about the only sort of man who would set sail for Kull nowadays. Of course, you won't be able to travel as a warrior. That would arouse suspicions at once. You are going to be press-ganged tonight and shipped out as a galley slave on the night tide. We have arranged this. You cannot believe your ears.
I absolutely refuse.
You blurt out. I don't think so, Amberon says coolly. Take it as a tribute to your... Why's he got a merit I've made him go? Take it as a tribute to your resourcefulness and reputation that we consider that only you will have a fighting chance under these circumstances. Surely I have already made the importance of this task obvious. Amberon grips your arm with a greater strength than you would have believed this slim young man possessed. The staff has to be retrieved.
Wait, go back to your old one.
You prefer that one. If you refuse, a weaker man will have to go in your place, and before long, Shanzikul will overrun this land. Then you will be dead in any event. The wizard's remorseless logic and stupid voice and powerful persuasion win you over. Grimly, you agree to accept this quest. It's going to be the most challenging one of your eventful life. When you get to Aschios, you'll have to slip away from the ship. That shouldn't be too difficult. By then the crew will be as drunk as lords. But you'll have to find a way to equip yourself with armour, enough food and a weapon, and either have some gold for a passage by riverboat up the Ashen River or make your way to Kabesh some other way. How you get that money is up to you, but we can give you a head start. One of the other wizards hands you over a pair of dilapidated boots. These are going to help, you think? But Amberon takes them and deftly twists the boot heels. Inside each is a small depression containing a single gold piece. He shows you how to twist the heel to reveal the secret cavity and how to seal the boot heel again. These will buy you enough food to keep you alive for a few days at any rate, he says. One more thing I can tell you about the man, if he is a man, who has the staff. We have found out that he is a wizard, as we feared. His name is Shanzikul. You've already told us that. Maybe they're just like... it's a really
It's
cool
a good
name.
name. It's a good name.
Oddly enough, at one time long ago, there was a very powerful and evil wizard of the very same name who allied himself with the Dark Elves. He and his warped elven followers were captured and slain by a huge band of wildmen, who flayed and quartered the wizard, and then watched as the vultures picked his bones clean. All that happened some 300 years ago, and our magical scrying leaves us in no doubt that this is the same man who now has the Staff of Rulership. A wizard of such powers, and with this terrible relic to wield, you must overcome him and return the staff to us. This will give you some idea of the gravity of the problem. After further feeble protestations, you are forced to fall in with their plans, hoping desperately that the meagre amount of money you have in your boot heels, write it on your thingy, 2 gold pieces you've got, will be enough to keep you alive when you land in Kull. If you manage to get that far, you walk out into the night, down to the docks where, feigning drunkenness, you await the blackjack blow on the head that will cause you to wake up a galley slave aboard the Diablo. Turn to paragraph 1. Right, that's the intro done then.
That was exciting, yeah.
It was alright, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But a squeaky voiced Amberon, he knows his stuff.
So I've got 2 gold.
pieces, that's your lot.
No provisions, no items.
Well, it's sort of, are we going to write boots? I don't know. I reckon don't bother.
Okay.
Don't think we need to. So the point, usually with these you start off with a sword and a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention, until you get a sword and some armour, there's a material impact on your fighting ability.
Okay.
So you're made quite weak. So just bear that in mind when you're deciding whether to attack things. You lose 2 skill points until you can get armour and a shield. And you do half damage until you can get a sword. Okay, here we go. Nice picture here of a horrible orc lashing some poor galley slave.
Is that Shagrot?
Let's see, let's find out. I think it's going to tell us it's some of the Shagrot's mate. You have spent untold days as a galley slave on the infernal Diablo. You are given only watery slops to eat, not enough to maintain your strength. Deduct 3 points from your stamina score. Blimey. You are kept chained to the benches of the galleys, and you cannot move far. The smell of bad food and sweat is overpowering on the cramped slaver. This morning, the second mate, a repulsively ugly, warty orc, is in a filthy temper and is taking it out on the slave sitting next to you. The orc is lashing out with his whip at poor defenceless Ramon, with whom you have formed a friendship. Will you stay quiet and ignore this, or try to stop the orc's brutal flogging?
So I'm down to just 6 skill. Was it skill or stamina?
Stamina. Don't worry. Skills 9, -2 until you can get some, get your hands on a set of armour and a shield, but we'll remember that. But you do lose 3 stamina, so hit points, in other words.
So I'm properly down to 17.
Correct. Only temporarily. You can recover stamina by various
But
means.
I can never go above 20.
Exactly right. And the same is true of skill and luck. There are occasional things that can recover that. Basically, you rarely lose skill. You do use up luck as you are forced to test against it.
Okay.
Stamina, you'll lose lots and then recover it quite commonly, so don't fret too much about the 3 stamina.
And my skill... Right, okay.
So your skill, in effect, is 7, which sucks.
Okay.
Just so you know.
So, I mean, look, we're all taking a beating on this ship. I do feel like if I help Ramon, he might be able to help me later. But then what am I going to do? Fight this big orc? I'm going to just keep quiet.
I mean, that's probably what I would do. Sadly.
No,
Because we're role-playing as a wimp, right? We're not saying we're cowards.
But I've got to keep I've got a bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
I've got to keep a low profile. Ramon, we all get whipped on this ship.
Correct.
So I'm just going to...
I think that's sensible life lessons, that.
Yeah,
we all
definitely.
get whipped from time to time.
Yeah, come on, Ramon. You knew what you were signing up for.
Yeah.
You are my mate, but, I'm getting whipped as well.
I'm convinced.
Yeah.
After the orc with his bloodied whip has gone, you hear the sound of muttering coming from the deck above you. Do you have the acute hearing skill? No, we didn't. You can't make out what's being said. Turn to 172.
Okay.
Never mind. What the hell is that? Why we're not on that page? Another week of this nightmare voyage has passed. Deduct 2 more points from your stamina caused by the inadequate food. Today a squall is up and the ship runs before the wind, so you don't have to row. The second mate is lashing out again, drunk on rum, and he picks on you.
Oh, hang on.
Well, what's your name?
Do I go funny here, which won't be funny?
Or serious?
Or serious?
I kind of want to know what you think a serious heroic name is. So I'm saying serious.
He's a warrior. He's got that voice.
What, like Solid Snake's voice?
Let's call him... I'm also going to be called Shagrot.
Very good.
Just to make it confusing.
So you're another Shagrot.
No,
that's good. I'll take that.
Yeah?
I'm happy with that. Your name's Shagrot as well. just a coincidence.
It might come up like if you've got the same name. Let's just go.
Excellent. You can either passively suffer his beating or try knocking him down with your chains. He is close enough for you to attempt this.
Keeping a low profile.
Yeah, I think you've got to stick to it.
Yeah.
Take the beats.
Just take the beating.
Bloody hell, you must deduct 3 points from your stamina because of the brute's flogging, but finally he lurches away and picks on someone else. Turn to 153. So you're down to 12 stamina already.
Maybe I should stand up for myself.
Oh, this one's got a picture of some pirate eye patch dude attacking a tentacle. We'll see what happens. I'm going to stop describing every picture because that'll get boring. The first mate comes staggering down below decks again and looks around, his bloodshot eyes staring wildly from beneath his mane of matted, greasy black hair. He grins wildly and mutters something inaudible. Then he screams out, "You scum! 2 men for deck cleaning now! I'll have you!" And, pointing at you, "You, Shagrot, you worthless vermin!" Your chains are removed, but then your leg is fettered with a ball and chain when you are hauled up on deck. You are occupied scrubbing the decks with a hard bristle brush and seawater when suddenly pandemonium breaks loose as huge suckered tentacles rise into the air out of the sea and lash out at the men on the decks. Close by you, your namesake, the despicable Captain Shagrot, draws his scimitar as a vast limb of the Kraken attacking the Diablo lunges at him. You now have a choice. You can either ignore what's happening and retreat to safety, or you can attack the tentacle which is lunging at the captain using your ball and chain as a weapon. If you would like to fight 2299, what do you want to do?
Retreat to safety.
Wow. That is impressive whimpering.
I don't know him shit. He's mistreated me, so fuck him.
No, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
We'll see if that decision works out well.
That's the trouble though, isn't it?
You back away from the giant kraken, but the venomous captain is more than a match for the monster. With a few swift strokes from his scimitar, he severs the tentacle, then helps his men chop off the others that are attacking the ship. Oh, there you go, he's alright. Soon the kraken is dead, but the captain isn't finished yet. Evilly, he eyes you with his one good eye, his black eye patch concealing the scarred pit where the other once lay. His malicious parrot squawks gleefully, "Keel haul the landlubber! Keel haul the scurvy scum!" And the cat Iago, "Yes, almighty evil one!" And the captain agrees that this would be suitable punishment for a seaman who wouldn't help his captain.
Shit.
Yeah, this is a bit bad. With your wrists and ankles bound, you are soon gasping for air as you are dragged under the Diablo's barnacled keel, every inch of movement an agony as your exposed flesh scrapes along the rough surface. Deduct 4 points from your stamina. You are hauled up from the sea and thrown back in the galleys in chains. Turn to 191.
Christ, I've only got 8 stamina.
Bloody hell. Maybe it's trying to tell you to be more courageous.
Maybe, yeah.
Back in the galley, the captain increases rations so as to keep you alive, but by now you are desperately weak and hungry. You begin to lose track of time with the monotony of rowing, but one day the evil parrot which normally sits on the captain's shoulder flies below decks and lands close to you. Settling, it launches into a diatribe of curses and oaths. The hateful little pest is close enough to grab. Do you want to strangle the little horror or simply ignore it?
Definitely strangle him.
Wow. Yeah,
No, he's a bit...
not taking that shit from no parrot.
No.
You grab the parrot and smother its squawks as you wring its neck. Ramon, the slave next to you, pulls a wing off and starts tearing at the stringy flesh with his teeth. Raw parrot is scarcely a delicacy, but mastering your repulsion, you also tear at a few morsels. Regain 2 stamina points.
Okay.
Oh god. Now roll 2 dice and add the results together. If the total is less than or equal to your skill, blah. If it's more than, blah. I think you want to get less here.
Okay.
I think. Might be wrong. You did. Got a 5. Less than 9. Let's see. Hopefully that's the first bit of good luck that you've had in this entire sorry attempt. The captain comes below in search of his parrot. Clearly he suspects that someone has done away with it, but he can find no clues and nobody gives you away. Woo! For a little while he flails away with a cat o' nine tails at some of the slaves, but he is drunk and his blows do little harm. Turn to 77. Got away with that. In a parrot murder. That's pretty satisfying.
Yeah.
Shit. At last, the hellish voyage is over. The crew are drinking themselves stupid in celebration at the lookout's cries of "Land ahoy!" The Diablo makes her way down the estuary towards Aschios and anchors close by the town. The crewmen release you and the other galley slaves from your chains, rope you all together and batten down the hatches to keep you inside. You are able to slip your bonds easily enough, but the hatch is a different matter. You are baffled until, luckily, a few drunken crewmen come down to have some fun with their whips. As they do so, you slip past them and climb up on deck. Do you have the move silently skill?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. Turn to 244. You sneak past the half-drunk watch, clamber down the ropes and into the sea, swimming away towards the land to starboard. Turn to 178. So you're pretty battered, but you've survived it and made your escape.
Which I think you would be, that sort of, voyage.
Yeah, I don't remember any of the other books putting you through quite such an ordeal at the beginning. They normally ramp up, but this one's like, you're getting punished from...
Yeah.
I like it. Wet, tired and weak, you reach land at last. You stagger up the shoreline and find a fisherman's deserted hut where you can rest. Here you fall into a deep sleep. You awaken in mid-morning, somewhat refreshed, regain 2 stamina points.
Back to 12.
You emerge into the bright sunlight and peer around. Why, you can see Ashkios less than a mile away.
Okay.
That's lucky. Striding out, you are soon at... Well, I guess that is where it was going.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Striding out, you are soon at the town gates, and you enter unchallenged to look round the place. Turn to 229. Don't worry, that picture doesn't go with this bit. Jesus. Ashkios is divided into districts. These are shown on the map inside the front cover of this book. Interestingly, they aren't.
Oh.
So that's a weird printing error with this edition, isn't it? You are now free to go wherever you wish. You can visit the shops, the warehouses, Entertainers Square, the markets, the docks, the infamous Old Quarter. When you are ready to leave the city, turn to 243. Make a note of this paragraph number now. If your notoriety total reaches 8 or higher, you must leave the city to avoid being arrested by the militia. So keep track of your notoriety score. And turn to 243 immediately if it reaches 8 or more. Okay. So just scribble 243 down if you don't mind. So that's quite a good little system. You basically can just knock about the city until you're not welcome anymore.
Yeah.
Just, not that I'm trying to lead you along, I'm just reminding you that you've got no equipment.
Yes.
But then you've also got bugger all money to buy it with.
I've got 2 gold.
Yeah. So there are shops.
Is 2 gold not really enough to do anything?
Correct. So it's like, where might... Well, it's up to you. You've no food either.
I mean, I could get food from the shops, I guess.
You probably could with 2 golds, I think.
The markets, the shops.
And you are able, I think, to go back and forth. I think was something I remember about this.
The infamous Old Quarter.
There'll be some money to be made in the infamous Old Quarter. I guess that's equivalent to like Tuffley in Gloucester.
What do you need food for? Just
there's 2 things.
Recovers your stamina.
Yeah, so eating a provision recovers 4 stamina, and you can do it whenever you want, but not mid-battle.
Yeah.
But in the teeny spoiler, once you leave the city, the next bit of the book is this big trek across the wilderness where it'll say you must eat food or lose stamina. So if you don't have food, you're knackered, basically. So you really, what you want to achieve here as a minimum is get some food, get armour and a shield, get a sword, bugger off. That's kind of the point of being in the city.
Well, for now then, I'm going to go to the infamous Old Quarter.
Wow. I actually don't remember at all what happens there. If you haven't been to the Old Quarter before, turn to 337. If you have been here before and you have met a necromancer, turn to 101, otherwise turn to 351. So we've never been before, so turn to 337. Suggests there might be a necromancer knocking about, but we'll see. The Old Quarter is a seething morass of degeneracy and moral turpitude. You sit watching leprous beggars, man-orcs, hunchbacks and shady-looking merchants with their brutish bodyguards wandering round the streets. All human life is here, and quite a lot which isn't exactly human too. That's pretty well written, some of this. I like it. You are just looking around to check up on the names of streets and bars when suddenly a group of men comes running towards you, chasing a runaway mule which is heading straight at you. Will you try to stop the mule or get out of the way?
I'll try and stop it. My theory being that if I help them...
They might give you some cash.
Maybe.
I think that's a good... Yes! It's as if you have the animal wisdom skill. Turn to 165, and you do. This is getting better and better. The mule will not be easy to stop, since it is careering about and is a cussed-looking creature at the best of times, which this isn't. I don't quite know what cussed-looking means. Roll 2 dice and then add 1, and then check this against your skill. So you basically need to roll 8 or less on 2 dice. He did as well. He got a 7. Oh, his luck's turning here. Turn to 288. Deftly, you grab the mule round the neck and bring it stumbling to the ground, subduing it. With a few words and neck rubs, you render it docile again. Turn to 8.
Okay.
No, it'd probably be like the men come over and kick your head in. Get off our mule, you prick. The grateful merchant rewards you with 4 gold pieces for your efforts. Turn to 394. It's looking good.
6 gold now.
Settling down in your place again after all the excitement, you continue your observations, keeping one eye open for any chance to make some money. After a while, as it grows late, you notice that 3 places in particular seem to be attracting many comings and goings, so you decide to pay a visit to one of them. Koyala's bar is notable for the bottles of wine in the window, the bunches of grapes over the door, and the airs and graces affected by the customers who drift in and out. Clearly it isn't a place where beer is served. Will you visit Koyala's bar, Canstrin's Gursh bar, or Stavian's gambling hall?
One thing I wish I'd done is gone to the shops to see how much things cost.
Yes.
'Cause I've got 6 gold, but I don't know how much I'm going to need.
A bit more would help, I think.
I'm going to go to the gambling hall then.
And just go for it.
Yeah.
I think that's a good shout. Unless you get ripped off. We'll see. I went to Marrakesh last weekend, speaking of getting ripped off.
Oh, really?
Well, no, it was great. We had a great time, but I'm terrible at haggling because I don't want to offend people. And, of course, they're all absolute experts at parting you from your money.
Yeah.
So we did overspend on a load of tat, but had a nice time doing it. And I kind of think that city is like the basis for all this that we're in here, this like vaguely sort of Mediterranean Eastern European feeling, like Star Wars. They're all just based on Morocco, basically.
Yeah, I agree, actually, yeah.
There were no orcs there, though, thankfully. No. You stride into Stavian's gambling hall, past the beefy guards at the door who give you intimidating stares, and into the smoke-filled gambling den itself. Small groups of men, a sprinkling of dwarfs, and a group of 4 gnomes sit concentrating on their cards and dice, and there's even a solitary half-ogre sitting with a stack of gold at the knucklebones table, where they use real knucklebones to play the game. Will you sit down at a table and venture a few gold pieces at a game, head to the bar to order some food and drink, or sack it off and go and find a place to sleep? Well, you're not going to do the last one, are you? That'd be daft.
Go to a table.
Have a game of knucklebones.
Yeah.
I reckon it's got to be done. When in Ashkios, you will need to stake at least 3. So if you don't have 3, you can't play. You've got 6, so you're fine. If you've got the money, you're willing to gamble. Who will you gamble with? Men, dwarfs, or gnomes? Are gnomes known for their gambling skill? I feel like dwarfs. I don't know if I'd want to gamble against them. They love a gold piece.
I'm going to go to gnomes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
See what they're all about. You sit down with the gnomes and begin to play dice. You are fortunate, winning 2 gold pieces. Oh, I thought there might be some dice there. Just get it down. You're up to 8. Then 2 of them leave for the bar. And the other 2 edge closer to you.
Big strong warrior, aren't you?
One says softly.
We could use a man like you. Want a job for the evening? Not exactly legal, but it pays well. A word somewhere where the walls don't have ears.
And you get up with them, leave, and walk as far as a quiet and deserted, darkened back street. Here we go.
All you've got to do is keep lookout. Our master, he's interested in, research. Needs a few bones and stuff down at the cemetery.
He's gone northern now, this gnome.
5 gold pieces in it for you. Coming.
Will you agree to help the gnomes or refuse to help the gnomes?
I'll agree to do it.
Gotta be totally pass up an opportunity like this. Just flick past a really disturbing picture. Thankfully, we're not up to that bit yet.
Fine.
One of the gnomes leers, and they head off through the... He sort of turned into Peter Kay. Through the maze of back streets, past wretches puffing at foul-smelling pipes, freaks with horrid mutations, and other low-life sights and smells. Eventually, you reach the cemetery. The gnomes head for a big piece of sculpture looming over a large crypt, and one of them expertly picks the lock on the gates, opening the way down to the tomb. The other lets out a morbid chuckle, and they beckon you down the stairs.
Come on, we're all in this together.
They gloat. You can decide to get out of this or enter the tomb with them.
I've come this far. I'm entering.
In for a penny, in for a gold coin. You descend the tomb stairs with the gnomes. One of them lights a torch so you can see your way down the clean steps. There is little dust and no cobwebs, but the air is chill and you feel apprehensive. You reach a mausoleum lined with family tombs, and one gnome takes a small iron bar from a bag he is holding and hands it to you.
I'm actually a bit nervous.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
It's very good.
Get the lid off that one.
He says. They said you were just on to look out. This is getting...
Yeah.
Pointing to a very fresh-looking coffin, you prise the lid off and find a newly dead corpse inside staring at you.
Grave robbing.
The gnomes hiss at you to get the body out and carry it up. You can decide you've had enough of this. Note that it's a different paragraph number, though, to the previous. You can bugger off, just, or do as they ask.
Now, have I got my gold at this point?
They haven't paid you yet, no.
I'll carry on then.
Going along with the grave robbing. You might still have a chance to get out. You heave the body onto your shoulder and ascend the stairs to find someone waiting outside. Turn to 135. Where is this heading? Outside, in the thickening night mist, stands a pale figure dressed all in black. The smell of death is strong about him, and his pale flesh shines slightly, as if a fine coating of scales covered his skin. He stretches out a hand to you. It looks like a skeletal claw covered in shiny parchment. Are you carrying a body? Yes.
Christ.
Guess he would have been there if you hadn't, which might have gone badly wrong.
Yeah.
So maybe this is better in a way. I'm going to give him a Jafar voice. Your reward, the necromancer says, dropping a clinking bag into your hand. This contains 5 gold pieces. I mean, you got paid, right? Why don't you just get the fucking corpse himself? He was right there.
Yeah, dick.
The gnomes scuttle off with the body and the necromancer slowly walks away. You can attack him or leave without attacking him.
No, I don't think I'll attack him.
Not even got a sword to attack him with or any armour. Yeah, I wouldn't attack him. 238. Deduct 2 points from your luck for abetting this ghoulish servant of evil in his foul work, and worse still, you find that you now bear an indelible mark on your forehead which will increase your notoriety by 3 points.
I was expecting that.
Yeah. Now it's time to find somewhere to sleep for the night. Turn to 27.
Okay.
Interesting day you've had.
Yeah.
Are you willing to pay 1 gold piece for bed and breakfast? If you are too mean to pay this or unable, turn to 175.
I've got 13 gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pay. So I've got 12 gold.
You sleep comfortably and next morning eat a fair meal. Regain up to 4 lost stamina
Cool.
points.
16.
That's good. Turn to 229, which is where we were before, to go to another part of town.
Okay.
Apart from that mark on your head, it's all okay.
Bit of notoriety, I was expecting that at some point.
So, shops.
I think I'm going to go to the shops.
You've got enough money to get some good stuff. I think there is the markets as well, but like you said, it might be nice to know how much things cost. Go to shops 384. Whenever you go shopping, you must keep careful track of how much money you spend and adjust your treasure accordingly. Any purchases you make should be added to your possessions. There are several shops you may care to visit. Do you wish to try food shops, Bocannon's Stables and Travel Shop, Ali Haji Sheikh's Weapons Store, Hot Salt the Herbalist, or Sukifiri's Magic Shop?
So I'm going to go for the weapon shop because obviously I can't
because you need it's desperate that. I know we haven't done a fight yet, but you're basically fucked unless you get the stuff you need. Ali Haji Sheikh keeps a good range of weapons and other useful supplies for the seasoned adventurer. His prices are backpack 2 gold, crossbow 4 gold, crossbow bolts 5, 1 gold, a lantern with oil 4 gold. You got blind sight though. Leather armour with a shield, oh that's annoying, 8 gold.
Fuck.
Sword 5 gold. So you 1 gold off being able to buy
If I hadn't
what you
had
need.
that fucking bed and breakfast.
Oh no. Ali is a fair man and will also include a water skin with a backpack, or with any purchase over 2 gold pieces, so you get a free water skin thrown in. You can have anything you pay for, but you may carry only 1 of each item, except for crossbow bolts you can carry up to 10. The crossbow is useless without bolts, you have to keep track of the bolts. Oh, he's also prepared to buy certain items from you if you're prepared to sell a sword or a lantern. Well, so you can carry multiple of them, it says. Certain purchases attract attention. crossbow, leather armour, sword, each will accrue 1 notoriety point. Do you want to buy any of that stuff, and then it just lets you go back to either other shops or back to the base? I'm sort of inclined to say...
I'm going to say sword.
And therefore not the armour.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, they're both pretty much essential, sadly, I would say. You can come back. You can come back here. But you certainly may as well get something.
So the backpack...
It hasn't... Oh, sorry. I think in the introduction it tells you that the backpack enables you to carry more provisions. If I remember rightly, I'll double check. Backpack you can carry 10, whereas if you haven't got a backpack, you can only carry 4.
That's quite a lot.
So it does make a backpack quite important for the second half.
Okay.
Sorry, you can carry 12 meals in a backpack, but only 4 if you don't have one.
So I'm going to buy a sword.
Yeah.
And a backpack.
And therefore get a water skin for free.
Yeah.
So knock your gold down to 5, because sword costs 5 and backpack costs 2, and then stick them down. Backpack, water skin, sword. So you're no longer crippled with the half damage thing, but you've still got the -2 skill until you can buy the armour, which means you now need 3 more gold.
Okay.
Do you want to check out the other shops, or do you want to go and have a look, scout around for more money?
I think I'm going to scout around for more money.
So we're going to leave the shops behind for a bit, back to the main bit. You can actually go back to the old quarter, of course, or you can go to the docks, the markets, Entertainers Square, the warehouses.
I'm torn between warehouses or Entertainers Square.
Yeah, one of them sounds like you might be able to sort of gamble or whatever. One of them you might be able to get some work.
I'm going to go to Entertainers Square.
Just gone for it.
Sounds more fun.
Here we go.
I was thinking warehouse is more sensible. There's bound to be a job going there.
Yeah.
But Entertainers Square
sounds more entertaining.
Fun, doesn't it? Yeah.
Entertainers Square is a great open space with benches and trestles and with drinking dens.
Oh, hang on a minute. So the sword, I gain another notoriety, yeah?
Well done, well remembered. Sorry,
Okay,
so you're on
I got
4.
4.
Well done.
So
well
I've got
done.
4 more before I have to leave.
Very honest of you.
Yeah.
Stalls selling refreshments. Around you, minstrels, bards, street poets and animal trainers are entertaining the populace, and looming above all, the gladiatorial park dominates the square. If you have Jesper with you, well, we don't know who he is. If you have been in this district before, nope. If this is your first visit and Jesper is not with you, turn to 2.
Oh, right, that's the beginning.
Do you have the acute hearing skill? No. This is a bit worrying. In one corner of an Entertainer Square, a sudden roar goes up, and you make your way to what looks like a giant bull ring to see what's going on. In the ring, a huge half-ogre wielding a metal-studded wooden club stands in triumph over the bloodied body of a human warrior. This is gladiatorial combat in the depraved city of Ashkios. This means combat to the death.
Oh, shit.
And in all cities? Anyone can challenge the strutting half-ogre to gladiatorial combat. If you wish to proclaim a challenge, you will be loaned the leather armour, shield and sword. That's good if you don't have them. Loaned only, you return them after the fight. You get 12 gold if you win. If you lose, you die. It says, if you lose, you die. The next combat, it is announced, will be the last one of the current series, so it's now or never if you want to fight the prick. If you want to issue a challenge and fight the gladiator, turns 49. If you don't fancy the prospect and wish to go elsewhere, you can go elsewhere.
So if I fought him, my skill would just be 9.
Correct.
Just be as it was.
Your stamina is in good shape. And just, again, I suppose to give you the slight... Enemies at this point of the adventure are not usually equipped with particularly intimidating skill scores. I'm not saying he's going to be easy.
I'm going to fight him.
You're not. What I'm saying
Even
is,
without that, I was going to fight him.
Good lad. Oh, here we go. Flipping heck. Skill 9, stamina 14.
Oh,
so it's very close.
Yeah.
The one advantage is you've not got much luck to rely on though, so it's going to be pretty even. Clad in your armour and grasping your sword, you step into the ring. The crowd roars with bloodlust as you move around, seeking an advantage of position and momentum for a first sword thrust. Among the crowd, Marshal Lakatos, the corrupt military dictator of this city, watches with sadistic amusement. Your life is in your own hands now, for this is a fight to the death. So, Gladiator, skill 9, stamina 14. Very similar to you, so it's going to all be on the luck of the draw, but you could use your luck if desperate. So he gets the first go. All you do is roll 2 dice, add your skill score, you do the same. Oh no, I'm talking rubbish. You both go simultaneously, sorry. He rolls first, then you roll, add your skill score. If it's a tie, nothing happens. If someone gets higher, the other person loses 2 stamina. That's it.
Okay.
So it's just going to be you versus him.
So our skill scores are the same.
So it's basically whoever rolls higher. Correct.
Yeah.
So I roll for the Gladiator and I got 11. That's a terrible start. You need to get a double 6, mate. You didn't. You got your pen.
Yeah.
Knock off 2 stamina for that.
How do you do it on it?
Yeah, so you're down to 14. Okay.
I don't know if I want you rolling again.
Maybe that was it. Maybe now you'll have an incredible run of luck. Starting with a 6. That's beatable, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got to get a 7 or more.
Come on, you little beauty.
6 is a tie. Okay, we'll go again. 6 again.
I'm not very lucky with the dice roll.
And it's a 5. Oh,
jeez.
and because I want you to win, I feel like I also think I'm not lucky, and therefore our combined bad luck's going to not.
So now I'm lower than him.
Correct. So you need some good. Oh, he's got snake eyes. That's good. Just don't roll a double 1 and you hit him. Oh, 4. Well done.
So he's on 12.
So he's also on 12. Okay, let's see if we can get 2 in a row. I'm so sorry. I rolled a 12.
Just rolled a 12.
Unbelievable. Okay. Oh, you're down to 10. Please don't die.
Don't roll another.
Don't die.
12?
I rolled a 9.
That's pretty high.
Hell, this is not. I'm so sorry. Oh, maybe we should just reverse it and pretend now you're down to 8. This is not going well. Okay, 6. You can beat that. Come on, this is a big moment. You got a 6. You need one. Oh, I got an 8. Oh, shit. 8. It's a tie. It's just tense. 3. Come on. You can do better than a 3. You've done a 12. He's down to 10. If you can get the next one, you're back on level pegging, okay? He rolled a 12. You're down to 6. We'll have to start testing our luck in a minute, which at least will explain that mechanic. I got 9. You got 8. Right, I'll show you how testing your luck works. Let's say you're going to test your luck. Roll 2 dice, get 6 or less. You failed. You lose a luck point.
But hang on, that was just showing
just a showcase, don't worry. You would lose a luck point.
Yeah.
And because you failed the test, his blow does an extra point of damage.
Okay.
Because if you succeeded, you would reduce it to 1. And you can do the same with your blows, which doubles your attack or halves your attack. But because your luck's so low, it's probably not worth bothering with.
So hang on a minute. So the next go then, if I want to do more damage, I can roll a luck.
Correct.
If I get lower than a 6...
You successfully double your damage against him.
Double my damage against
him. But you have to roll 6 or lower, which is not going to be easy. You do it after you've hit him.
Oh, okay.
Let's keep going.
Okay.
So you took 2 damage then, didn't you?
Yeah, I put it down.
Oh, you did it. So you're down to 6.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Here goes. 11. You're down to 4, mate.
Why are you doing this?
Okay.
This will be the comeback of all comebacks.
4. You can beat that. 5. Excellent. Right.
So...
you just need a little run. He's down to 8. You've got 4.
But could I not do my luck now?
You totally could. It's just if you fail the luck test, you want to do 1 damage to him. Just go for it.
Go for it. So I need lower than a 6.
And you've flipping done it as well.
So my luck goes down to 5.
Your damage against him is now 4, which puts him down to 6.
So now
whereas yours is
winnable.
still 4. So it's still looking pretty dicey.
But hey, lovely stuff.
Right.
Come on.
Would be helpful if I just rolled a crap number now, wouldn't it? Gladiator. Breathing heavily. Oh my god, I rolled a 12. That's 3 times I've rolled a 12. Right. You're down to 2. You need to win 3 in a row to survive. Okay? First one.
Oh.
I've rolled a 3. You can do this. You've got a 7.
Yes.
He's down to 4.
Now, shall I test my luck again? I need to get lower than a 5.
Pretty risky. Well, lower than a... You need to get 5 or lower. You are desperate. You're 1 hit away from death. And then if you did succeed...
It would be all on that last one.
Do you want to go for it?
Yeah.
Going for it. Testing his luck. Unbelievable. A 4. So you're now down to 4 luck. And he's down to 2. So this is it.
All on this.
All on this.
Oh my god, the tension is
I can't believe how this has panned out.
It's been terrible.
So if I could just avoid rolling a double 6 would be nice, wouldn't it?
That would be nice.
Okay,
for
here
once.
goes. It's a 6. Okay? It's a 6. You just need to get 7 or more. It's a 7! That's unbelievable.
So I'm down to 2 stamina.
Yeah, so you at death's door, so you desperately need to get some more stamina. You haven't even got any provisions, so we just have to hope they give you something.
And I'm down to 4 luck.
If you win, turn to 389. I don't know about you, I'm knackered. The huge half-ogre totters and falls, and the crowd stands and cheers your triumph. Stewards in chainmail usher you away after you have taken your bows before the foot-stamping, shouting masses. I'm not surprised. That was like a Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder kind of affair. You get your reward of 12 gold pieces!
So I'm on to 17.
But now you will be the talk of the town. Add 2 points to your notoriety.
So I'm on 6 now.
Soon you'll be hounded out. You are allowed to rest and recuperate in a room near the stadium, looked after by a friendly innkeeper who gives you a meal. Regain 4 stamina points.
Okay, so I'm on 6.
His son had been foolish enough to challenge the gladiator, so the man is delighted that you have beaten the half-ogre. Now you must try another part of town. So, with your notoriety teetering on the brink of expulsion, do you want to go and buy that armour?
So that armour...
Not that I'm suggesting anything.
Would the armour add any notoriety? Yes.
It would get you up to 7 great point. Good point.
Is it just 1 notoriety it adds?
Correct. Yeah, 1 for the art. Let's check. Let's check.
2.
Let's just check. Yeah, it is, because it was 1 for the armour, 1 for the sword, 1 for the crossbow.
Yes, you're right. And I got 2 for the...
And I suppose you could conceivably look in a food shop.
Yeah.
Because we know the armour was, I think it was 8.
I've got 17.
It was armour and a shield for 8.
Yeah.
So you've got 9 spare. And I just think with your notoriety about...
Just get loads of provisions.
Unless there's something else that looks useful.
Yeah.
Do you want to go to the shops?
Yes. God, my heart's racing.
That was
Pumping.
nuts. Weapon store.
Yeah.
Good old Ali Haji Sheikh. So, 8 off leaves you with 9 gold. You've now got leather armour and the shield. So you've no longer got a skill penalty. You didn't have one in that fight anyway, but normally you would have done. And you can see how hard that fight was.
Yeah, Christ.
So what, 9 gold left.
Yeah.
You've already got the backpack, so the only things he's got that you haven't got is the lantern with oil, or crossbow and bolts.
Crossbow
but because your notoriety is now 7, if you buy the crossbow, you're gone.
So I could
be
come
inclined
back
to go do more shopping.
Yeah.
3, 8, 4.
Unless maybe, lantern though, 4.
I know, and the other thing is, you don't know. You might go in one of these other shops and something happens that adds notoriety.
But I've got blind sight as well.
You have.
So do I need lantern? Maybe, but I'm going to just say
I
no.
can't remember.
Well, it doesn't matter, no, yes.
Do you want to try the stables and travel shop, the food shop, the herbalist, or the magic shop?
I feel like I could get what I need from the food shop, the herbalist, and maybe the magic shop.
Yeah.
But I think I'm worried the magic shop we'll have some sort of
some kick-off's going to go.
yeah.
So it's going to go down in there.
I think I'm just going to go to the food shop for now.
Yeah.
Just to get a few bits.
I've no idea how much food is. I'm hoping it's.
I imagine it's about £1, isn't it?
There are many food shops selling small sweet cakes, good bread, hot slices of peppered beef in poppy seed buns, and other delicious foods. They also sell preserved food for adventurers, sort of like dry shit, Pringles or something. £1 piece will buy you enough for 2 meals, but don't forget the 12 provisions limit because you've got a backpack. So actually, you can fill your backpack for 6 of your 9 gold. Or you could spend 5 and get 10. Up to you.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that.
Leaving 4 behind.
So I've got 4 gold.
Just remember, though, the crossbow is useless if you don't buy bolts with it.
Good point.
So
because what I was thinking is do another job.
Yeah?
But that's going to get me notoriety.
Possibly.
Almost certainly.
Although you could try the warehouses.
That's
they
what I
might
was
just
thinking,
have good, honest work there.
I mean, if...
don't know.
So let's go back
It's
to
going to
the
remind
thing.
us of the... the crossbow is 4.
But
5 bolts is 1.
Yeah.
And you can buy 10 bolts. But it's clearly useless to get it.
Yeah.
So you're going to... You've gone for 10 provisions, is that right?
Yeah. So
stick that there.
10.
And you've got 4 gold left, but you're going to try going to the warehouses for more work.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
If you've met Vesper, he keeps... Oh, was it Jesper last time?
Jesper
and Vesper. Maybe that's a typo, I don't know. Anyway, you haven't... If you haven't been in this district before, turn to 23. Okay. Strolling into the warehouse district, you see coming towards you a young lad carrying a small sack. He is running flat out away from a red-faced merchant and 2 heavily built labourers who are pursuing him. "Stop, thief!" screams the perspiring merchant. Or maybe he's like the Go Compare man. "Stop, thief!" The boy certainly looks nimble and quick enough to elude his pursuers, but you could stop him. You could stop him. Will you apprehend the thief or ignore what's going on and let the boy run right in front of you? Kind of like the donkey incident all over again, isn't it? Or is it an inversion of that incident?
I feel like if I let him go, the thief might give me some up, but maybe the notoriety is like...
You'll get a bollocking for not helping him.
Yeah,
that's
so
true.
I think I'm going to try and stop him.
Turn to 218. You make a grasp for the boy, but he swerves deftly away and ducks down a back alley out of sight. Do you have the tracking skill? The answer is no. I'm afraid.
So I'll probably get nothing from this one.
You race after the boy, but he escapes. Fortunately, in his hurry, he dropped something, a small bag of gems. The merchant and his men soon arrive, and you hand over the bag. Nice of you. Gratefully, the merchant offers you 4 gold pieces as a reward. He also offers you a job shifting cargo at his warehouse. The pay is fair, he says. So you've now got 8 gold and a job if you want it.
My only worry
If something goes wrong.
is that something happens during this job.
And then you get kicked out because you're at 7 notoriety before you've got a chance to spend the money. It's a real dilemma, that. If you take the job and you just do some work and he pays you, job's a good one. If you take the job and something...
I've only got 6 stamina.
You know, you probably need to eat some of those provisions just to bump your stamina up as well, to be honest. It's 4 stamina up per provision. I've forgotten about that. You're only on 6. So if you get in another fight, you could be completely screwed.
How much was the crossbow?
4 plus 1 for bolts, or plus 2 for more bolts.
So 6 plus 2. I could buy more provisions
And then
to
eat some of
replace
them.
the ones.
Yeah. Yeah, you could now afford to buy a crossbow, 5 bolts, and 6 provisions, and therefore you could eat 4 provisions, which would probably max your stamina pretty much. Oh, it's tense.
But it's honest work. It's just in
He
the warehouse.
says it's honest work.
It's a real dilemma.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Let's go back to the shops.
Wow, he's gone for the sensible option. Now, normally what you'd do if you were playing it when you'd be cheating and reading and checking, but we're not going to do that. Back to the shops.
So first of all, back to the shops, but can I just have my provisions
Correct.
any time?
You can just eat now.
And it adds on how many?
4 per provision.
So
if
I
you ate 3, you would gain 12, which
So I'd
would
be
put
on
you
18.
almost at max.
Okay, so provisions down to 7.
Stamina's back up to
to
18.
18.
So your skill's in decent shape, your look's a bit fucked, your stamina's really good, you've got all the equipment you need, and you've got
8 gold.
8 gold. Do you want to go and top up your food?
Yeah.
So we're going to go to the shops. We're going to go to the food shop.
Should I maybe go to the markets though instead?
Just have a look.
Something might happen. Nah,
Correct.
just go to the shops.
So, yeah. Now this is up to you how full you want your backpack to be. You've got 7. It's 1 gold piece for 2.
Well, I'm going to buy...
The 3 back that you ate.
So
Or-
if I buy 2 provisions, that will give me 4 meals. So if I bought 2 food, it would give me 4 meals.
2 gold
Would
would
give
give
me
you 4
4 meals.
provisions. Sorry, yeah, of course I'm talking.
So that would give me 11 provisions.
You'd have 11 provisions and still 6 gold left.
So I'm
you
going to
could
do
get-
that.
Okay, I think it's good. Then you're going to go back to the weapons shop
Yep.
and you want to go and buy the crossbow.
Yep.
From
And
Ali.
2 lots of bolts.
Yeah.
Although, should I keep a 1 gold piece?
Great point.
Ah, now hang on a minute. I can still go back and
You've
now just risk it.
Correct, you can just take
Yeah.
a risk.
Okay. Right.
So what's it going to be?
I'm going to max out my spending.
So you're going to get
10.
them to nil gold.
Yeah.
And you've got a crossbow with 10 bolts.
So I'm just going to do a new sheet because the last one's a bit fucked.
Yeah, it's good. So provisions are now. So let's do a quick recap for everyone's benefit. Skill is 9.
Yeah.
Stamina is a healthy 18. Luck is a pretty paltry 4. Provisions is 11 of a maximum 12. Gold is now
now
an embarrassing
0
nil, but
because
well used.
Yeah.
Notoriety is 7, so you're teetering on the brink of getting the boot. Items in your possession are a sword, a backpack, a water skin, armour, a shield, a crossbow with 10 bolts. If you want to just add that to your thingy there.
Yeah.
So, you're still in the city, you're still welcome. There's not really much point looking in the other shops because you've no money.
Nope.
Do you want to go to the warehouses again? You might have missed your chance with the work. The Entertainers Square again. The markets for the first time. The docks for the first time. Or back to the infamous Old Quarter. I'll put some hold music. In fact, all your thinking time, I'll try and get a song that encapsulates the tension.
I might go back to the warehouses.
See what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. If you've been in the warehouse district but you haven't met Vesper, turn to 279. I like how it allows repeat visits. I like that. Today there is no work to be had in the warehouse district. All the merchants have enough labour as it seems. However, just as you are deciding to try your luck elsewhere, a slender small figure in brown robes sidles up to you. You see brown ferrety eyes under the cowl and a tanned nut-brown skin over a thin, sharp-featured face. Record in your notes that you have met Vesper.
Okay.
What voice does Vesper have, do you reckon? Can I make him Scouse?
Yeah, if you want, yeah.
Interested in making some easy money, he says casually as he tugs you by the sleeve into the shade under the eaves of a building. You say you are. You can hear him out at least. Be here at 9 tonight. Between now and then, just sit around down the road from Morgenstein's warehouse. He points this out. That's where I have my little job planned. I just need a good lookout man. Plenty of easy money to be made, my friend. It's obvious what he means. It's like the gnomes all over again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Will you agree to his plan, decline and go shopping, or decline and leave the warehouse district altogether?
Decline and leave the district.
Oh wow! You're not trusting this guy.
Because it'll just end up with another notoriety. I'll
Getting
get kicked
kicked out.
out. So I might at least try and get some honest work.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So for your honest work, there are shops you've never been in. There's Entertainers Square. There's markets you've never been to, and docks you've never been to. And then there's the infamous Old Quarter again. Got some work there last time, but
there
it
was,
wasn't the sort of work you wanted.
No, and we've met the necromancer, which I remember being an option. I'm going to go to the markets.
Okay. Turn to 126. If you have some saffron you want to sell, nope. If you do not have any saffron, no, that's a shame. I wonder where you'd have got that. If this is the first time you visited, yes, it is. Looking around, your attention is caught by an ill-tempered, ugly man kicking a mongoose which he has on a leash. The little animal is trying to evade his blows. You move up, hoping to shame the brute into stopping his abuse of the little creature, which he does. He turns to you and spits on the ground. "Little swine," he says, aiming a half-hearted kick at the mongoose. "Supposed to be trained in it. Those tricks I were told won't do no tricks for me." Suddenly, his eyes are full of that "could this stranger be gullible" look. "Want to buy this little flea bag for 3 gold pieces? You could make a tasty pie out of him, and his skin would make you a fair pair of gloves." If you have the animal wisdom skill, turn to 144. Here we go. There is something unusual about the mongoose. It looks distinctly intelligent, and it snuffles against your leg, looking up pleadingly at you. Turn to 249. Do you want to buy the mongoose? So it's giving you a clue that he might be worth getting, but you haven't got the money. If so, you'll have to pay 3 golds. If you haven't got the money or don't want him, so yeah.
Oh well.
Merchants are buying and selling all kinds of wares in the markets. Everything from food and fabrics to basilisk skin cloaks, kegs of gursh, the unspeakable orcish brew, and magical pots and pans that clean themselves after use. Just a quick aside at the mention of basilisks, which is obviously a Dark Souls monster. Apparently, Miyazaki used to read these, so I bet he's got some stuff out of them. Yeah, I should have mentioned that before.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool, isn't it? There's a series, a sort of spin-off series that Steve Jackson did called Sorcery that are harder.
I know.
And those are meant to be one of Miyazaki's influences on the games. The merchants themselves are very varied. Humans, dwarfs, 1 or 2 elves, here and there a furtive gnome, man-orcs, and even a lizard man peddling patent medicines and necklaces of shark's teeth for charms. Do you have Jesper with you? So maybe Vesper and Jesper are 2 different people. Anyway, you don't, so turn to 34. If you have at least 4 gold pieces, you can try your luck at buying and selling. If you do not have this much, or you don't want to... okay, so literally there's nothing to do at the markets if you've got no gold.
Cool, no worries.
Back to 229. So,
worth a shot.
You've now got shops you've never been in, or revisits to other places, or you've still not been to the docks.
I'll go to the docks.
He's gone for it.
It just sounds like trouble to me, the docks.
Yeah, something about it. I don't know. If you've been to the docks before, no. If this is your first visit into 104. The docks are teeming with... How do you say that? Stevedores. What's a stevedore?
I don't know.
Go on, we'll have to Google it. This is an educational podcast, of course. A stevedore is a person employed at a dock. The docks are teeming with dock workers and seamen of a wide and disgusting diversity. All right, it's a bit harsh.
Yeah.
There are men, certainly, but there are also orcs and even some ogres. Okay, fair enough. And one small crew of things which might once have been men, but now you shudder and look away. Whoa. One group of drunken sea dogs is brawling and cursing, and out of the corner of your eye you notice a figure in a small passageway behind one wharf, handing a package to a hunchbacked dwarf and taking a purse in return. It must be money. Why, the brown-robed figure is even counting the coins, and you can see the glint of gold in the sunshine. The dwarf vanishes down the alley. You could try sidling over, I like the idea of sidling, and having a go at stealing the gold. Or do you prefer to ignore the robed figure and continue looking around?
If I steal it, my notoriety is going to
tip over,
max out, and I'm just going to be kicked out. So I'll just carry on looking.
Yeah.
I need honest work, basically.
Yeah, or just a freebie for a final bit of spending. Oh, this is great. You're going to love this.
Go on.
You round the corner of a small warehouse and bump right into Captain Shagrot.
Hey.
There's no mistaking the eye patch, the wooden leg, or the scimitar in those gnarled, shovel-like hands. "Thought you'd escape, did you?" he snarls in fury, drawing his scimitar. Shagrot's crew members are beginning to form a circle around you. You can either fight or try to make a run for it.
I'm going to fight him.
Yeah. You've got the stuff. You've got the cojones. Oh God. The crew look reluctant to intervene directly. They hate their sadistic captain as much as you do, but they hem you in and you must fight. He has got skill 9.
Oh my god.
This time his stamina's only 11.
Okay.
Unfortunately, a demented parakeet takes off from one of the sailor's shoulders and tries to fly at your face and distract you. You have a choice here. You can ignore the parakeet and attack the captain, but if you do this, you have a reduction of 1 to your skill. Or you can attack the parakeet, which dies in 2 blows, which means you have to take 2 hits from Shagrot before you start. Flipping heck.
So basically I would always be on 9 skill.
You'd always be on 8 skill.
That's what I meant, sorry.
Yeah.
8 skill.
But with a 4 stamina point losing start. Sorry. You can either be on 8 skill,
Yeah.
or
Be on
start on
14
stamina 14.
Stamina.
And we know how much you love killing birds already from this game, but that's a tough one, that, isn't it?
Yeah. I think I'm going to kill the bird.
I think that's a good call.
Yeah.
So
I'm
bird's dead. Shagrot's got 2 free hits in, so you're down to 14. So now it's just a straight up 9 skill, stamina 11 versus 9
Why
skill,
is it
stamina
always
14.
9 skills? Rubbish. And it's like you said, you'd be screwed if you didn't.
Yeah, imagine if you had 7 skill.
Yeah.
But then if you had 12 skill, you'd be slaughtering them with ease. So I do feel like it's a little bit of a flaw in the game, but let's go for it. Okay, Shagrot rolls a 7. What's your name again? Shagrot. The other Shagrot rolls a 5. Oh, God. Down to 12. Here we go.
Similar pattern,
Evil Shagrot rolls a 7. Good Shagrot rolls a 7. It's a tie.
Why? I'm just absolutely rubbish at
Evil Shagrot rolls a 2. Good Shagrot rolls a 5. So he's down to 9. And it's almost not worth testing your luck, is it? Because,
No.
Oh, then again, because it's only 1 point that it would make a difference, it actually wouldn't matter. Do you get what I mean? Anyway, he's down to 9. Evil Shagrot rolls a 3. This is what you needed, a bit of luck. Good
6.
Shagrot, a.k.a. Liam, rolls a 6.
He's down to 7.
Bad Shagrot rolls a 6. He's been pretty crap so far. This is... Oh, you got a 12! Yes! Right, he's down to 5. Okay. Little Rub of the Green. And you're over the line. You got a 4.
Oh.
You got an 11.
Yes.
He's down. Now, you
3.
could use your luck. My argument here is he's going to need 2 hits anyway, even if your luck fails. The problem is it's putting your luck down to 3, and later in the game you might actually need your luck.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
And it's kind of unlikely.
You're very unlikely to pass the test anyway.
Carry on.
Just keep going. Evil Shagrot got 7. Liam Shagrot got a 5. Oh, you're alright though, you got 12. Oh, what have you got? No, 10. 10, sorry. Evil Shagrot gets 4. Good Liam gets an 11. He's 1 away. 1 away. Unless you want to go with the luck test now.
Nah.
Okay. Bad Shagrot gets a 9. It's his first decent roll. You get a 7.
Ooh, that was close.
You're down to 8. Imagine if he just gets 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Just kills you. That'll be really pathetic. You got a 6. And you got an 11. He's dead. The old bastard's dead. I'm quite pleased. He's not a very nice man, is he?
So I'm down to 8 stamina.
And you could eat a provision to top it back up. Or 2 provisions, or even 3. But
I'm going to eat 2 provisions.
Yeah.
To top. I'll wait to see what happens first before I do anything.
The captain falls to the ground, gasping his last. His scurvy crew, even the orcs, cheer. You grab the captain's scimitar, which you can sell to Ali,
Okay, yeah.
and try to stroll away nonchalantly. But people are pointing you out, and you guess that the militia will hear about this. Add 2 points to your notoriety.
Okay, so I'm gone.
But let's finish the paragraph. When you are away from the hubbub, you realise that the scimitar is a magical weapon. You may add a bonus of 1 to your skill when using it. So you can go up to 10. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
I would just always use this instead of my sword.
Totally.
From now on.
And just keep the sword if you need another item later to bin off. The sword also casts a bright light in a small radius when you command it to, so in future you do not need a lantern for light, which is lucky because you haven't got
I didn't buy one. So essentially I've got a lantern as well.
And gain 1 luck point for this excellent find.
So basically my skill now
is 10.
10.
You can eat the provisions if you want.
My luck now is 5.
Correct. You've got a magic scimitar.
Which also doubles as a lantern.
In effect, yes, correct.
Shall I just put lantern down?
Put in brackets next to scimitar, then we'll remember. And as you've said before, you might not need it because you've got blind sight, but let's see. And then my question, so then it's sending you back to the main hub.
Okay.
So this is the point where we wouldn't go back to the main hub, we're going to have to leave the city.
We're going to have to leave the city.
My question to you is, do you want to eat some provisions before you leave?
I'm going to eat 2 provisions to take me up to 16.
And leaving you with 9. Right. Not bad.
Not bad.
And you got to kill that miserable old fucker as well. It is time to leave the city of Ashkios behind and face the perils ahead. Do you have a silver whistle?
No. Yeah, I didn't go into like any of the transport places. I could be.
We'll see. If you must leave because your notoriety is 8 or overturned to 31, maybe it's, I don't know, you might have a chance to like rest up or something, but you don't, is what I'm thinking.
Right.
You have to leave the city immediately. You cannot purchase any more items, but you can buy provisions on the way out. But you haven't got any gold, have you?
No.
Or didn't you get some gold? No, you didn't. I'm talking
No.
marks. No, so you can't anyway. Right, turn to 388. Just reinforces the importance of provisions in that it gives you that little sort of workaround.
Yeah.
In the journey ahead, remember that when you are instructed you must eat provisions, you must deduct them, and you don't gain any stamina. If you don't have any, you lose 2 stamina for every meal you fail to eat, so you're not in too bad shape. If you have a riverboat ticket, no. If you have bought a camel, no. Otherwise, you are leaving on foot.
It's not seeming like such a good idea anymore.
Your first day of travel is peaceful enough, but you must eat 2 meals during the day. You sleep safely in the open.
So provisions down to 7.
Correct.
God, that wasn't... I suppose it makes sense.
Travelling south, the weather grows warmer, but light cloud shields you from direct sunlight. Your travels are undisturbed, as will be your sleep tonight, but during the day you must eat 2 meals.
Another 2?
Another 2.
Oh.
You are well into the deserted lands south of Ashkios now, travelling through scrubland. The wretchedly poor soil supports only the hardiest of plants, and a few garishly coloured insects buzz round them. You feel sleepy under the hot sun, and perhaps this explains why you are nearly taken unawares by the small yellow-banded green snake which darts out from a cluster of rocks. Its pearly venom-dripping fangs are a deadly menace, belying its small size. Do you have Jesper with you?
Oh God, so he can come with you?
Wasn't that Vesper who we met? Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember, but either way,
If you do not, turn to 223.
He probably takes a hit for you, or warns you, maybe.
If you are riding a camel, turn to 94. If you are not...
I've got a feeling this isn't good.
Uh-oh. No Jesper, no camel. You must fight to destroy the poisonous snake. Even though you will have to take only the usual 2 points of damage from any bite it delivers, and although it will not strike you easily, because it's quite crap, its venom may have delayed effects.
Okay.
Oh dear. Skill 6, stamina 6. So I guess that implication is don't get hit if you can avoid it.
Okay.
Not that you can do much about it because it's all on the throw of the dice. But you've got 10 skill now and he's only got skill 6. You got this.
So, yeah.
Snake rolls 4. You can't lose. Snake goes down to 4 stamina.
Yep.
Let's go again. Snake rolls 7, which is 13. You just have to avoid snake eyes. Snake eyes. 8. Good. Snake's got 1 hit left. Unless you want to test your luck. But I don't... Yeah, your luck's crap in it. Snake rolls a 6. It's not bad. You just have to avoid... You can't lose. You can only tie, actually. And you killed it. You've done it. Your luck's in here. You're doing well. Turns to 11. If the snake bit you, turn to 197. If it did not manage to bite you even once, you may continue your journey. Oh, that sounds like you got a lucky break there.
Yeah. Oh, that extra skill point is definitely...
Makes a massive difference in these. You basically, when you start them, if you roll a crap skill, you may as well just not bother playing. Which, sorry, I've said it before, haven't I? It is time to make camp for the night. Again, during this day, you must eat 2 meals. And remember, if you want to recover stamina, you have to eat additional meals.
Okay, but my stamina's 16.
Yeah, so you're down to 3 meals now.
Okay.
You erect a makeshift camp in this uncovered, open and broken land and settle down to an uneasy sleep. Do you have Jesper?
No.
Do you have a camel?
No.
If you are alone, send to
No,
152.
it doesn't sound good, does it?
A stab of agony shoots through your guts and you awaken screaming to see the gloating reptilian head of a four-armed semi-human mutant. Two of her hands are holding the cruelly serrated blade which is buried deep in your entrails.
Jesus.
Food! Food! She slobbers as her other hands scrabble at your throat. At least your death is swift.
I'm dead.
You're dead. I said, out of nowhere.
Holy shit.
I guess the game is saying, you know, you didn't go in that travel place.
Yeah.
If you can buy a camel, that can help. You can get on. I think you can get on like a boat. But that seems pretty harsh.
That was too harsh, I would say.
It's almost like if you don't get the boat or the camel, the only other way you can not die is having whatever Jesper is with you.
He would have probably got killed, and I would have had a chance to kill it. Maybe.
Which I'm going to give you a clue, or a spoiler, is the mongoose. Jesper is the mongoose.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you would just had 3 gold pieces at that point,
could have got the mongoose.
You might have got away
And
with
would
it.
the mongoose have been killed?
I can't remember, but I think the point is that he warns you that there's a slobbering mutant monster outside your tent.
Oh, God.
Oh, I felt like you were doing well there.
I feel like I was...
harsh.
I feel like I rode my luck at times.
Yeah, especially in that gladiator fight.
Yeah, that was insane. But
seems like you've been a bit hard.
I feel like I was robbed a little bit. There. I feel like I should have had at least
a chance to avoid that.
Maybe like
test your luck.
Yeah, just that one little bit chance. Test your luck.
Seemed a bit harsh.
If I get lower than a 5,
brilliantly though, if I remember rightly, you can. Let's say you got past all that, you get quite far. I think there's a bit where you get to like a crappy little town settlement on the outskirts of wherever, but they won't let you stay in the inn because of the mark on your head. So you have to sleep outside, and you end up getting knocked off by a monster anyway. So I think you can't complete the game with the mark on the head. I think.
Okay.
I think you end up dying. I might be wrong about that, but Necromancer was skill 10, by the way. If you wanted to fight him, that would have been a bit hard, wouldn't it? But
could you fight him and get rid of the mark?
I think it's too late.
Okay.
So I think you basically have to sack him off, not dig up the corpse, fight him outside to get away from that whole situation. But it's funny because if you hadn't played cards or knucklebones with the gnomes, which is quite a rare combination of things, so you wouldn't have got that whole bit of the game. Anyway, unlucky. I feel like you unlucky there. Do you want to borrow it?
I actually wouldn't. I might just buy.
Borrow it if you want.
No, it's cool. You take it. I might buy some though.
That one is great.
Which brings us back to the reason we're here.
Oh yeah, we're not just pissing about playing a game. We've got important things to decide.
Does it warrant a place
after you've
the
had
hall of pain?
That Miss Piggy.
Yeah, I don't know. It did sound a bit like it. Does it warrant a place in the hall of pain? It's my character.
Shagrot, was it?
Shagrot.
The now
Shagrot
deceased. God rest his soul. Shagrot killed by a mutant while he was having a kip in the desert. Well, you had first-hand experience.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was great. I would buy all of those books.
Excellent.
And will buy them right now.
Good lad.
So
I've got loads of them in my loft.
Does it warrant a place in the Hall of Pain? You're damn right it does.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
I mean, what doesn't? But still.
But
so actually, I'll tell you what. Let's roll for it.
Okay.
My skill is 10.
Test your skill. 10 or under.
Okay, if it's 10 or under, and this is genuine now.
It's in the Hall of Pain.
It's in the Hall of Pain.
If you blow it and get an 11 or 12, it's out.
The first thing
to
not
be rejected.
To make it. And this is going to be genuine.
I'm quite tense. You implying that some of those dice rolls weren't genuine? The thing we just did, nudge wink. Okay. Test your skill. 10 or under, and it's in the Hall of Pain. Go do one dice at a time. It's a 3.
Hey.
Oh, that's ruined all tension. It's 6. Yay! Yes! Oh, man.
Shagrot back from the dead.
Yeah, that's it. Good old,
That was great.
Good old trusty Shagrot. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm also quite glad you died, because otherwise we would have been here till about midnight.
Yeah.
So
it was about the right time to die, really,
I
wasn't
was
it?
just flagging.
Yeah. That was great.
Well, thanks for listening. I hope that was interesting for everyone. A little bit different.
Bit different.
And
in the Hall of Pain, though.
Tune in next week where we're going to be playing through. No. It's your go next, isn't it?
And I've got an idea.
Can you give us a clue?
Let's just say the next thing I'll be pitching is evil.
Whoa.
Resident.
Well, tune in next time if you like zombies. Oh,
Goodbye. Farewell.
Folding up your character sheet in defeat. That's a sad.
Fare thee well, stranger.
Yeah, watch out for Captain Shagrot's parakeets.
Yeah, little prick.
Bye. Thank you once again for joining us for what was hopefully a delightfully different episode of Dark Natter. If you enjoyed the show and want to support us, you can do so by leaving us a 5-star review on your podcast listening service, or even better, by telling your friends, family and fellow dark fiction enthusiasts all about us. Please also follow us on social media, where you'll find us on Instagram at Dark Natter Podcast or on Twitter at Dark_Natter. Our thanks once again to the musical artists who kindly make their music freely available for projects such as this, specifically David Feslian, I hope I've pronounced that correctly, for the tension building track we used a couple of times during this episode, and of course to Ross Budgen for the theme music you can now hear playing in the background. With that, I will leave you. Don't have nightmares, or if you do, try to make sure they're at least inspirational. Until next time.